Always do sober what you do drunk. That'll teach you to keep your mouth shut.
Hemingway said that.
Yes, he did. And he said it to me.
I don't want you to go to Canada tomorrow.
It's for the podcast. It's what I do. I travel around and I interview weird or interesting people.
So look out, you crazy Canucks! Wandering Wallace takes a raunchy road trip up to the Great White North.
Hello. I'm an old man who has enjoyed a long and storied life at sea. And after eons of oceanic adventure, I know I do not wish to spend my remaining years alone while I have such stories to share.
How far is Bifrost from here?
It's about 2 hours from here.
It's about 2 hours away.
I hate American guys.
Good evening.
It's nice to meet you.
Could I interest you in some tea?
So what happened after the boat sank?
I was alone, and then something very swift and frightening moved by me.
A walrus saved your life?
The walrus is far more evolved than any man I've ever known. Present company included.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Which?
There. It'll be all right, Mr. Tusk.
He hasn't called me in 3 days. I'm worried.
Why are you doing this? Are you really mourning your humanity? I don't understand. Who in the hell would want to be human?
This guy wants to turn me into an animal or something. I don't want to die in Canada.
It's a weird movie, kids. I don't know what else, but I will tell you this. The people that did this trailer is being put out by the company A24. They put out Spring Breakers last year, the Bling Ring. They're excellent taste in marketing. They really know how to put a marketing campaign together because this is a weird, tough movie to stuff. So they hired this company called Buddha Jones to cut it. Buddha Jones cut the trailer. And the trailer is cut so amazingly. Now, I've seen the movie, and I can tell you honestly, without doubt, when you see most trailers, man, it's like you see the whole fucking flick. We've shown you 20% of the flick. We haven't shown you anything. You know, that was how we cut the trailer, is to kind of keep it mysterious and shit like that. So, if you watch the trailer a few times, you could sit there and be like, man, I bet you they never turn him into a walrus. Because fucking maybe it's all in the character's head and shit. That's how classy a cutting job they did on the trailer. It would make a potential audience go like, I would see this. It could be a psychological thriller rather than a bunch of rubber or something like that. So I just want to take this opportunity to tell you, we do turn him into a fucking walrus. And it is fucked up, man. But we don't put that in the trailer, and there's also other surprises in the movie, but I couldn't have done it without the people involved. You see 4 people throughout that trailer, man. The great Michael Parks, who couldn't be here today. He was feeling a little under the weather, but he sends his regards. Justin Long is on the other side of the country doing a play. He also had a bit of a hernia, but the play was going to keep him there anyway and stuff. But the other 2 characters in the movie who are the main characters, half of the movie takes place with Parks and Justin Long, and the other half of the movie, the adventure half of the movie, the rescue half of the movie, stands very ably on the shoulders of 2 of my favorite fucking actors I've ever worked with, and this is their first Comic-Con. They're virgins, so make them feel really welcome, man. Give it up for Genesis Rodriguez and Haley Joel Osment. They are fucking amazing in the movie, I swear to you. Both of them are astounding. I gave them both pages on the day sometimes because, I'm a wake and baker and stuff. So periodically I'd wake up and be like, I'm gonna write 10 more pages and then give it to the actors, and each time they fucking pulled it off. But they are fantastic. I don't want to waste any more time talking, so I want to open it up to anybody else. You want to hit the question light? Maybe these cats get a question or two because they want us to get out of here in about 15 minutes. So if you don't ask a question, I totally will. I was waiting for you. I'll ask this question. You guys never saw the trailer. What did you think?
Well, you saw backstage with the TVs back there weren't licensed to show it, so about 30 people went running about 100 yards around the front
to watch
it. Yeah, I'm glad we got it on the big screen because I think you said it perfectly. It captured a good portion of the film in a lot of the places we go, but doesn't begin to scrape the surface of how dark it gets and how scary it gets, and everything that Michael Parks does to poor Justin. So yeah, I'm thrilled. I think we both were.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm like in shock right now. I can't believe the Genesis made it to the trailer. I'm so excited about that.
There's a moment in the movie, the movie was very collaborative. When you make a movie like this and it comes together off a podcast, you tend not to be like, no, it's all mine, I'm sole author. Everyone's input is welcome and stuff. And we were shooting the scene with these two kids, their very first day on set. We were shooting with Michael and Justin for a week, 5 days. Then these cats came. And their first scene was not a long monologue or big dialogue. They ran through a set and yelled Wallace and blood everywhere and stuff. So it wasn't like the height of performance. But they had a scene at the end of the night where they had to sit down across from my friend Ralph Garman's in the movie. He plays a detective. And he actually has dialogue. So they're having this scene back and forth. And I threw out some line. I was like, mention something about blah, blah, blah. And so Ralph did, and they both performed deftly. Genesis had this little micro expression on her face. She did something with her face where I was like, oh fuck, I was behind the monitor. I was like, that's interesting, man. So when I got up the next morning and it was time to shoot all of her scenes, or a big day of her shooting, I was sitting there smoking and I was like, I bet she could rock like a monologue. Like just a whole fucking monologue right down the barrel. That'd be amazing and stuff. So I wrote this monologue and I emailed it to her in the morning. And I was like, do you think you can handle this? By the end of the day, we can put it up there? And she's like, yeah, totally. And so at the end of the day, we shot all day long. It wasn't part of the schedule. Initially, the AD was just like, if we can get to it, but we're pretty stacked up. So during the day, I let go of some shots. I was like, I don't need that exterior. I don't need this and shit like that. The camera moves in that shot. I don't need that. So I left myself a little time, and I was just like, I want to do this shot where Genesis, all I need is the cameraman, Genesis, she just needs to look down the barrel and do her monologue and stuff. Everybody else can clean up while it's going on. And so everyone started cleaning up, and then we've got this little side unit where we sit Genesis in front of the camera, and I just have her talk to the camera. Like, I'm not a good filmmaker, and we all know this, but what I believe in filmmaking when it comes to, if you don't have like incredible skills to share, showcase the talents of others. So I've never tried to make movies where I'm like, look at me, I'm a good director. I only try to make movies where I'm like, look at the actors, isn't that amazing? Because I love acting. I love the fact that people tell the lie that tells the truth, and they pretend to say shit and make it sound real. So, you start filmmaking because you love performance and whatnot. So seeing actors act, that's the thrill of it. So I want to showcase the actors. So I was like, I'm going to set her up in front of the camera, let her do this long-ass monologue, man, and not break once, not cut away, not do a Michael Bay and do 26 other shots. Just let her act into the fucking camera. So we said action. Everybody's cleaning up quietly around the sides. Genesis starts this monologue. And at this very emotional point in the monologue, man, boom, she drops a tear. The 2 other lines later, at the appropriate line, boom, she drops another tear, and then she's crying as she's talking into the camera, doing this very passionate monologue, and everybody else who was cleaning up stopped working and started looking at the monitors, man, like, what the fuck? So it was something special, and at the end of it, I was like, that is in the movie, man. I'd always said, like, if it works, we can put it in the movie. If it doesn't work, it'll be a nice extra. But it was so stunning that we put it in the fucking flick, and it's in the trailer, but she's looking at the camera fucking crying. But it was not only like so good for that scene, like we use it later on with another character when we first introduced another character, same shot. We started calling it the Genesis shot all the time because it's just her looking down the barrel. She did a great fucking job. Okay, someone who's gonna ask a question.
Haley Joel Osment, I have not seen you in movies in a long time. Can you tell me how you got on board and what your relationship with Kevin is and why you chose to be on this movie?
I mean, Kevin just sent me the script last fall, just shortly before they started production. And I read it really late at night. I was at a restaurant in New York reading on my phone, just looking down at the table and just laughing out loud and kind of distracting the rest of the restaurant. And I agreed to do it immediately after. When it comes to the films that I choose, I just like doing really different characters and really, films that don't really have anything else to compare to like this one, because it's a totally kind of different movie. It's a movie that only Kevin could have made, and I'm really happy to have been a part of it. I guess that's why we're all going back to work together kind of soon.
We are, yeah. The entire Tusk cast is in Yo-Gozers as well. Taking a cue from American Horror Story. We're just keeping the same cast and moving parts, but really it's taking a cue from the View Askewniverse. We're just taking the same actors and having them play different parts in the next movie. So everyone comes back for Yo-Gozers. But if I remember correctly, man, when I gave it to Haley, he read the script, and I was like, you want to do it? He was like, I'll only do it if there's no dead people in it. I said, there ain't no dead people. Yeah, no Bruce Willis. He was sweet about that. Like, at one point, we were standing together on set, and like Bruce Willis inevitably comes up, and I was like, yeah, man, fucking Bruce Willis, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah. I was like, dude, you don't know what it's like to work with Bruce Willis. And then I was like, holy shit, you do know what it's like to work with Bruce Willis. And then Justin was there too, and he was like, I know what it's like to work with Bruce Willis. I was like, holy shit, and there were three of us, like, in the fucking